We're going to begin, of course, with Uvalde. This morning, we've got a lot of urgent new questions emerging about the response to that horrific school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. New details from officials contradict their initial description of what happened. For example, they now say that police did not confront the shooter on his way into Robb Elementary School. Janet Shamlian is in Uvalde with more on this story. Janet, good morning to you. The more we hear, the worse this gets.
Good morning, Gayle. Indeed, CBS News has talked to several law enforcement sources. They are not connected to the case, but they are raising concern about the response by police here, that the police waited for a specialized team before confronting the shooter. They say that is not the way active shooter response is taught in most police departments. And this morning, it's raising questions here in the community.
This morning, police are searching for the 18-year-old killer's motive, while new details reveal a timeline that leaves many wondering what took law enforcement so long to stop the carnage. Authorities say the 911 call came in at 11:30 a.m. Tuesday, when the gunman's grandmother reported he shot her. This video shows him approaching the school. By 11:40, police say, he entered the building through an unlocked door. After initially saying he confronted a security officer, police now say that was inaccurate. No officer was present. The gunman then walked down a hallway and into the two connected classrooms. We would shoot and kill 19 children and 2 teachers.
4 minutes later, local police departments are inside, making entry. They hear gunfire, they take rounds, they move back, get cover. But we have officers calling for additional resources. Everybody that's in the area.
The officer injured by bullets didn't go in further, instead calling for backup, containing the shooter to those adjoined rooms. The shooter was armed with a semi-automatic long rifle, a law enforcement source telling CBS News he was carrying 210 rounds of ammunition, the equivalent to what an average U.S. soldier carries into basic combat. He had 450 additional rounds in a backpack, but dropped it as the carnage unfolded. Social media videos show frantic parents arriving outside, held back, begging law enforcement to intervene.
During that time that they're making those calls to bring in help, they're also evacuating personnel, students, teachers. There's a lot going on.
He came in and he crouched a little bit and he said it's time to die.
This 9-year-old boy hid as the shooter entered the classroom. He was one of the 4th graders who survived. Many of his classmates did not.
The cop said, "Help if you need help." And then one of the persons in my class said, "Help." The guy overheard and he came in and shot her. And then the cops barged into that classroom.
Sources tell CBS News Border Patrol tactical teams arrived at the school just before noon, and by the time agents breached the room with a shield to take the shooter out, he'd been there for an hour or more.
They said they rushed in and all that. We didn't see that.
With the newly revealed timeline comes criticism authorities didn't move quickly enough. Javier Cazares was among the hysterical parents outside the school. His daughter Jackie died.
I honestly think that it could have been, a lot more could have been prevented or prepared.
The school security budget had been doubled since 2018, according to public documents, to comply with new state regulations following another school shooting in Santa Fe, Texas. And the Uvalde Police Department and the school district here had extensive policies in place to prevent or mitigate school shootings, including having its own police force to monitor the schools and a policy of locking the doors of the schools. Today, parents and families here are starting an unimaginable task, starting to plan their children's funerals. Michelle.
A lot more questions, and I'm sure demands for more answers. Janet, thank you.